Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Ukraine and Russia have reported inflicting heavy losses as the battle for Bakhmut rages on. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russian forces had suffered more than 1,100 deaths in the past few days, with many more seriously injured. Meanwhile, Russia said it had killed more than 220 Ukrainian service members over the past 24 hours. Moscow has been trying to take the eastern Ukrainian city for months in a grinding war of attrition. US authorities have taken emergency measures to shore up the banking system after Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank collapsed.
Today, thanks to the quick action of my administration over the past few days, Americans can have confidence.
US President Joe Biden said the US banking system was safe and promised to hold those responsible fully accountable. It's after the government said people and businesses who have money deposited with SVB would be able to access all their cash from Monday. Wall Street's main indices opened lower on Monday as bank stocks tumbled. The UK's Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt said the rescue of SVB's UK arm by the bank HSBC was necessary to help protect some of Britain's most important technology companies.
We have built, over the last decade, the third largest tech economy in the world, after only China and the United States. So it's very important to us as a country that this sector thrives. And that's why the Prime Minister, the Bank of England, were all rolling our sleeves up over the weekend to make sure we had a solution.
Gabonese authorities have continued the search for 31 people still missing after a ferry sank last week in the coastal area, killing 6 people. The The Miracle ferry, operated by Royal Coast Marine and carrying 161 passengers, was sailing from Libreville to Port Gentil when it sank off a coastal village, Nyoni. The Air Force had been conducting daily search operations in order to find the missing people since the ferry sank. Police in Malawi say at least 11 people have died and 16 others are missing as a result of the destruction caused by Tropical Storm Freddy. With communication links cut, the full extent of the damage and the number of casualties is still not clear. Freddy is one of the strongest storms ever recorded in the Southern Hemisphere and has caused weeks of persistent rainfall in Mozambique and Malawi. Initial assessments by humanitarian agencies working in Mozambique say there's been extensive damage to private homes and infrastructure in more than half of the country's provinces. Rubbish continues to pile up in the streets of Paris as rolling strikes against pension reform goes on, with President Emmanuel Macron refusing to meet with unions and pushing that the bill must go ahead. Nearly every street of Paris was impacted by the strike against government plans to raise the retirement age to 64, with bins in some places blocking pavements. According to the Paris City Hall, on the 7th day of the garbage collectors' strike against pension reform, 5,400 tonnes of waste remained uncollected in the streets of the capital. As of Monday, rubbish collecting unions had set no date for a resumption of services. The Suez Canal has recorded its highest daily transit rate since it came into operation in 1869. The Canal Authority said 107 ships passed through it in a day, carrying 6.3 million tonnes of goods. The authorities attribute the increased transit rates to an expansion project completed in 2016. In March 2021, the Suez Canal was blocked for 6 days by the Ever Given, a container ship that had run aground in the canal. And 60 elephants have enjoyed a feast of fruits and vegetables at the Botanical Park in Chonburi to celebrate National Elephant Day in Thailand. 3 tons of tropical fruits and vegetables were laid out on an 8-metre table to treat the elephants. Thai people have a tight-knit relationship with elephants since ancient times, when elephants played a significant role in transportation. The gardens used the day to advocate for keeping domesticated elephants in proper and safe conditions. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.